the very sweet name of Krishna. Leave behind all the volumes of sins. Sing Keshava Madhava Govinda. Everyone agrees that chanting of God's names gives happiness. The worst of sins from previous births vanish. Hellish conditions go away if you also sing Keshava Madhava Govinda. Dark-colored Krishna is dear to devotees. Chanting his name brings about liberation. Everyone sing the glories of his holy name. Sing Keshava Madhava Govinda. Govinda, Govinda. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Govinda Madhava Govinda Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol. Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Jo chahiye bhave sagate taran. Jo chahiye bhave sagate taran. Jo chahiye bhave sagate taran. Kaho bite madhur Krishna naam. Kaho bite madhur Krishna naam. Sabe papon ke gatire choro. Sabe papon ki gatari choro. Keshava Madhava Govinda Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Keshava Madhava Govinda Bol. Keshava Madhava Govinda Bol. नाम जप सभी काहिन हे सुखकारी. नाम जप सभी काहिन हे सुखकारी. नाम जप सभी काहिन हे सुखकारी. पाप काटेंगे सब जन्मों की बारी पाप काटेंगे सब जन्मों की बारी नरक ना मिलेगा कभी जो तुम भी नरक ना मिलेगा कभी जो तुम भी केशव माधव गोविंद Mukund Madhav Govind Mukund Madhav Govind Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol 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 Mukunda Madhava Govinda Mukunda Madhava Govinda Shyam Sundar Pyara Baaton ka hai Shyam Sundar Pyara Baaton ka hai उसके नाम जपते ही मुक्ति पाई उसके नाम जपते ही मुक्ति पाई नाम की माही माही सब मिल गाओ नाम की माही है सब मोरी गाओ केशव माधव गोविंद हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Mukunda Madhava Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Sham Sundar Pyara Bhakton ka hai, Sham Sundar Pyara Bhakton ka hai, उसके नाम जपते है मुक्ति पाई, उसके नाम जपते मुक्ति पाई, नाम की महिमा सब मिल गाओ, नाम की महिमा सब मिल गाओ, केशव माधव गोविंद हरि बोल, Hare Shri Kanai Lal Ki Jai. Thank you. This next bhajan is Very beautiful Bengali bhajan, and it says, O beautiful one, O youthful boy who lives in my heart, please come to me, O dark Shamal, O delighter of my eyes. The desire of my heart is to worship you intimately. In this hope, I humbly bow unto your lotus feet. O love of my eyes, please take me with you while I am suffering in your separation. The melody of our impending meeting is the only thing that gives me any happiness. O monarch of my life, why do you remain silent and never speak to me? Tears are flowing from my eyes, and nothing in this world gives me any satisfaction. How much longer must I continue living in this condition? You are making me weep and cry out for you. O darling Giridhari Lal, if I cannot attain you in this lifetime, then I shall just give up and surrender myself unto death. Sundaramor manakashor Soy Shamalanaya Biram Sundaramor manakishor Soy Shamalanaya Biram Soy Shamalanaya Biram Soy Shamalanaya Biram Vajibo Tomai Mura Manachai Vajibo Tomai Mura Manachai Vajibo Tomai Mura Manachai Vajibo Tomai Mura Manachai Charanera Raki Ekti Pranam Charanera Raki Ekti Pranam Soy Shamalanaya Biram Soy Shamalanaya Biram Sundaramor manakishor Soy Shamalanaya Biram Manakishor Soy Shamalanaya Biram Nayanira Prema Moraloye Jai Nayanira Prema Moraloye Jai Milanera Su Virohe Sugai Prane Devata Kabinahi Gata Prane Prane Devata Kabinahi Gata Kabinahi Gata Nayanira Dara Mananabiram Maninabiram Shyamala Nayana Viram Sundaramor Mana Kishore Eso Shyamala Nayana Viram Shyamala Nayana Viram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Emni Kuriyar Kotokar Emni Kuriyar Kotokar Emni Kuriyar Kotokar Kotokar Kandale Amai Yedi Daridan Kandale Amai Yedi Daridan ए जीवन है यदि नहीं पाए ए जीवन है यदि नहीं पाए मरने रूपारे शरणा निलाना Marane Rupare Sharanamina Eso Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sundaramor Manakishore Eso Ishamala Nayana Biham. This next bhajan is especially meant for grihastas, which is the majority of society, people that are married. And it says, dust from the lotus feet of pure devotees is conducive to devotional service, while service to the Vaishnavas is itself the supreme perfection, as well as the root of the tender creeper of divine love. I observe with great care the holy days commemorating the pastimes of Lord Madhava, for they are the mother of devotion. As my dwelling place, I choose with the greatest of reverence and love the transcendental abode of Shri Krishna. All those places where my Lord Gaura Sundara traveled for pastimes, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. My mind never longs for the opportunity. My mind ever longs for the opportunity to hear the music of the mridanga. Upon hearing the kind of kirtan ordained by Lord Gaurachandra, my heart dances in ecstasy. Beholding the deity forms of the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, I feel the greatest joy. By honoring the Lord's prasad, I conquer over all worldly illusions. Goloka Vrindavana appears in my home whenever I see the worship service of Lord Hari taking place there. When I see the Ganga, that river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bounds. The sight of the holy Tulsi tree soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Madhava. By tasting the green leafy preparation named sak, a great favorite of Lord Gauranga's, I consider life worthwhile. Whatever Bhakti Vinod obtains that is favorable for the service of Shri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest joy. Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Haribol, Haribol. Sudha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Sudha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula. Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Madhavati Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. Krishna vasati vasati boli Parama adare boli Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gora Amara Isabastane Korolo Brahmana Range Sesabastana Heribo Ami Panayi Bhakata Sange Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vedanga Vadya Surite Mana Abasara Sada Yache Gitana suni anande dayanache Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Yugala Murti Dekiya Mora Parama Ananda Hoya Yugala Murti Dekiya Mora Parama Ananda Hoya Asata Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Papancha Jaya Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yedi nadi hai bhajane degi Kehte goloka maya Sharana siddh dekiya ganga Sukhana Simapaya Edinagi Bhajana Deki Gihite Gologapaya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tulasi Deki Judaya Prana Madhava Tosani Jani Gora Priya Sakasnivane Jivana Satakamani Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhakti Vinoda Krishna Bhajane Anukula Paya Jaha Srikant Bhakti Divase Paramasukhe Srikara Koro Yetaha Bhakti Divase Paramasukhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Tadarajastamo Bhavo Kamalo Badayaschaye Chetetaranavidam Stitvam Sattve Prasidati Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Grantaraj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Gaur Premanande Haribol. Hare Krishna. Today we're going to hear about how Krishna is the greatest scientist, the greatest mathematician, the greatest Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's a difference between God and the Supreme Absolute Truth. Today we're going to understand that difference. There are many gods, but there's only one Supreme Absolute Truth. When you understand that, you become a devotee of Lord Krishna. So the title today, let's maybe we can close the curtains on both sides. I don't know about this one, the one in the back. That one there. Yeah, you can close that too. So the title today is How Krishna's Energy Comes Through the Sun and Sustains Planetary Motion, Life on Earth, and Photosynthesis. So the first slide is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Prabhasmi Sasisurayo. Krishna says that I am the light of the sun and the moon. So everything begins from Krishna, and all science, all mathematics, all physics, all spiritual science begins from Krishna. And it begins from Bhagavad Gita, which is Krishna's quintessential shastric evidence of the truth. He spoke it himself to Arjuna 5,000 years ago. There's no greater book than this Bhagavad Gita. One proof of that is that Ramanujacharya himself, Sripad Ramanujacharya himself, recommended to all his disciples during his time and in the future that they should always repeat the Charma Sloka, the essential, one of the most essential verses of all the Vedic literature, which says, Sarva Dharmam Purityaja Mamekam Saranam Vaja Ham Tvam Sarva Papip Yomoksisyami Mahasucha. Krishna says, give up all your different speculations and surrender unto me. Sharanam. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vaja. If you do this, I promise you I will protect you from all sinful reactions you may have performed in the past. In other words, he frees you from your karma, previous karma, good and bad. And he guarantees that you will come back to him in this lifetime. And he also says, Mahasucha, you have nothing to worry about, nothing to hesitate for, and nothing to doubt. So, now we're going to hear how Krishna is the source of all the energy that makes this universe work. And it's self-sustainable and it's cyclical. The Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence that emanates from Krishna's body. It is made of infinite jivas, or spirit souls, in the form of sparks or pencils of light. The spiritual effulgence spreads through the entire spiritual world and enters the material world by reflecting off the sun. So in other words, Krishna's energy is emanating as heat and light, and it supports everything, the spiritual world and the material world. And all life is animated by this Brahmajyoti effulgence. And the Brahmajyoti itself is made up of infinite number of jivas, or spirit souls like us. It's a living thing. The sunlight spreads to every corner of the material world. Therefore, there are souls, jivas, everywhere in the creation of Krishna. In other words, creation of Krishna only refers to the material world. The spiritual world has always existed and will always continue to exist and will never disappear. The material world appears and disappears. It's expanded from Krishna's plenary expansion called Mahavishnu when he breathes or exhales, and then it's reabsorbed when he inhales. So one exhale and inhale of Mahavishnu lasts 4.3 trillion years. Now, when he inhales, the material energy is still existing and all the souls are still existing. But the material energy is not active anymore because it's waiting for the next breathing of the Lord. The three modes of material nature stop acting, and the time factor stops acting. Therefore, everything comes to a stop, but everything is still existing. Plants are capable of capturing the energy of the sunlight through photosynthesis. Thus, the plant's source of energy comes from the sun, which originally comes from the Brahmajyoti, which comes from Krishna. Next slide. Srila Prabhupada spoke on April 30th, 1969 at Northeastern University in the United States. He said, "Everything is being done by the energy of the Supreme Lord. Parasya Brahmana Shakti." Just like you have got practical example. This material world means creation of the energy of the sunshine. Every one of you are all scientific students. You know that all these planets, they are rotating on account of heat and light of the sun. And similarly, the whole creation, material and spiritual creation, they are the manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Lord. Just like the sunshine is the energy of the sun globe, similarly, there is a supreme planet which is called Krishna Loka or Goloka, from which the Brahmajyoti light is emitting from originally the body of Krishna, but from Goloka, the highest planet. And it's being reflected off of the sun in the material world, and the sun, light, and heat is sustaining everything. Next. This material world results from the creation of the energy of the sunshine. All planets are rotating on account of heat and light of the sun. We're going to explain how this happens in a minute. In other words, the principle of gravity that the scientists proclaim today is actually false. What actually keeps the planets in space, we're going to explain it in a minute. What scientists claim to be gravity does not actually exist. Everything is floating and rotating due to the heat and light emanating from the sun as electromagnetic waves. The floating of the planets in the weightless air, electromagnetic waves do not have weight, is due to the inner constitution of the globes. Now, we're going to explain what that is. Buoyancy and spin both caused by the solar wind, cause the planets to float and rotate on an axis. There's such a thing as solar wind. The solar wind is that tremendous amount of electromagnetic energy emanating from the sun. The scientists call it solar wind in space. This electromagnetic radiation creates a solar wind. Scientists also acknowledge that such a thing exists. Some demonic humans are impacting the inner constitution of Earth by boring holes, fracking, extracting oil and gas and other minerals from the Earth and replacing them with water, chemicals, and CO2. In other words, oil is actually lighter than water. If you mix oil and water, oil will come to the top, right? So when they frack or they bore holes or they make caves like for gold and things like that, they replace the oil with water or chemicals or carbon dioxide. These things are heavier than the water and than the oil. This skews, or let's say it disrupts the buoyancy of the earth. And we'll see that in ancient times, especially with the incarnation of Hiranyakashipu, the earth actually fell out of its orbit. It's in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because they were boring, and don't forget, Ravana bored a hole from Lanka to Brazil to mine gold and bring it back to Lanka. The demons in ancient times were much more scientifically astute and advanced than we are. They could do things like we have not bored more than 3 miles into the crust of the earth. We haven't gone farther than 400 miles into space. So we don't know anything about the earth. The earth is less explored than so-called outer space because we've only bored down 3 miles into the crust, you say. But the demons in the time of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and the demons like Ravana, they were able to bore through the entire earth from one side to the other. And because of that, they disrupted the buoyancy of the earth. And we'll see how the earth is being held in the space. But when you change the internal constitution or composition of the earth, it loses the buoyancy factor and it can fall from its orbit. This changes the inner density of the Earth's core and causes an imbalance in the buoyancy, movement, and spin of the Earth. Due to these actions, Earth may be impacted from its equilibrium in space. This happened previously during Hiranyaksha's time, and Varaha incarnation put the Earth back into its orbit. Planets float. Next one. Planets float due to their internal constitution. This is a quote from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 7th chapter, 1st verse. And so you see, the Bhagavatam is actually full of scientific information, but not junk science and fake news, but real science and the truth. Only under certain conditions do the planets float as weightless balls in the air. And as soon as these conditions are disturbed, the planets may fall down in the Garbhodaka ocean, which covers half the universe. That's right. The other half is the spherical dome, within which the innumerable planetary systems exist. The floating of the planets in the weightless air is due to the inner constitution of the globes, and the modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from within is a sort of disturbance by the modern demons and can result in a greatly harmful reaction to the floating condition of the earth. A similar disturbance was created formerly by the demons headed by Hiranyaksha, the great exploiter of the gold rush. And the earth was detached from its weightless condition and fell down into the Garbhodaka ocean. The Lord, as the maintainer of the whole creation of the material world, therefore assumed the gigantic form of a boar, Varaha, with a proportionate snout, and picked up the earth from within the water of the Garbhodaka ocean. So this material world is called Hiranyagarbha. It's like an egg or a womb. And it has 7 massive coverings: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And each covering is 10 times greater than the other. And then inside is the egg-like shape of the earth, of the universe. Half of that egg-like shape is covered by an ocean called the Garbhodak Ocean. And on that ocean, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is floating with Lakshmi Devi on Anantadeva. And from his navel comes a lotus flower. And all the planets are included in the stem of that lotus flower, right? And then Brahma appears as the mental creation of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and he is sitting on the whorl of the lotus flower at the top. Next slide. This is all explained in the Vedas. The Earth is going through 3 amazing simultaneous rotations. Number 1, the Earth revolves around its axis. The surface of the Earth at the equator moves at a speed of 1,000 miles per hour. The Earth rotates every 23 hours and 56 minutes and 4.09053 seconds. So the first spin is the Earth on its axis going 1,000 miles an hour approximately at the equator. That means it goes faster at other points north and south. Secondly, the Earth moves around the Sun at 67,000 miles an hour. So it's rotating on its own axis. At the same time, it's rotating around the Sun at 67,000 miles an hour. And then number 3, the solar system, or the galaxy with the Sun and planets, revolves around a universal axis at a speed of 490,000 miles per hour. You can verify this. This is scientific knowledge. So, you see that there are tremendous movements going on. Do you feel any shaking or no? So you see, they're very precise movements. In fact, we keep our watches according to the movement of the rotation of Earth around the Sun. And then we have to correct our watches once a year because our watches do not keep perfect time. The perfect time is the rotation of the Earth around the Sun. You see? So you see how precise these things are.
Twice a year.
Huh?
Twice a year. Fall back and spring forward.
Whatever. And do you think it's all happening by accident? It's impossible. Huh?
Perfect design.
Perfect design. Next slide. Wind is air in motion. It is produced by the uneven heating of the Earth's surface by the Sun. Typically, this begins with the Sun's radiation, which is absorbed differently on the Earth's surface. The Earth's surface is heated differently because of scenarios like cloud cover, mountains, valleys, water bodies, vegetation, and desert lands. As a result of this uneven heating, there are bound to be Earth surfaces that vary a lot in temperature. Air on surfaces with higher temperatures will then begin to rise because it is lighter. There's expansion of the air and the molecules in the air, so it becomes lighter than the cooler air, which is less dense. As the air rises, it creates low atmospheric pressure. This causes the cooler air to come in, causing wind. Next slide. Planets floating on electromagnetic wind. Similarly, the solar wind, caused by a massive flow of electromagnetic waves in space, is causing a planet to float by a combination of buoyancy due to the inner composition and rotation on its axis. The Earth's surface is heated differently because of scenario. Okay, that was next. The floating ping pong ball is an example of Bernoulli's principle, which explains how a heavier than air object flies. The fast air moving around the sides of the ball is at a lower pressure than the surrounding stationary air. When the low pressure and higher pressure are in equilibrium, the ping pong ball is kept stationary in the air. You can do this experiment at home. Right. So the ping pong ball will levitate above a light bulb or a source of heat if it's done properly. The higher pressure air is pushing on the lower pressure air, and it causes, until the ball rises, until there's an equilibrium between the higher pressure air and the lower pressure air, and the ball stays static in the air. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 23rd verse, 23rd chapter, 3rd verse. All the planets and all the hundreds. Okay, the children have to be quiet, otherwise you have to take them out, please. All the planets and all the hundreds and thousands of stars revolve around the pole star, the planet of Maharaj Dhruva, in their respective orbits, some higher and some lower, fastened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the machine of material nature, according to the results of their fruitive activities. They are driven around the pole star by the wind, and will continue to be so until the end of creation. These planets float in the air within the vast sky, just as clouds with hundreds of tons of water float in the air, or as the great Sienna eagles, due to the results of past activities, fly high in the sky and have no chance of falling to the ground. So now we're going to understand fluid dynamics. You might not know this, but clouds move many, many hundreds of tons of water through the air. We saw that 2 days ago, where there was a deluge. Huge amount of water fell on Seattle and caused some damage also. The weight of a cloud. The weight of a cloud, called a cumulus cloud, is 1.1 million pounds. Think about that for a moment. This means that at any given moment, there are millions of pounds of water floating above your head. That's the equivalent of 100 elephants. How is it formed? The vast majority of clouds you see contain droplets and or crystals that are too small to have any appreciable fall velocity. So the particles continue to float with the surrounding air. Okay, you're going to have to keep the children quiet, please. The vast majority of clouds you see contain droplets and or crystals that are too small to have any appreciable fall velocity. So the particles continue to float with the surrounding air. For an analogy closer to the ground, think of tiny dust particles that, when viewed against a shaft of sunlight, appear to float in the air. Why the water does not get dumped from a cloud? Even though typical clouds do contain a lot of water, this water is spread out for miles in the form of tiny water drops or crystals. Why rain falls from clouds? The speed with which any object falls is related to its mass and surface area, which is why a feather falls more slowly than a pebble of the same weight. Thus, as a tiny water droplet grows, its mass becomes more important than its shape, and the droplet falls faster. Even a large droplet having a radius of 100 microns has a fall velocity of only 27 centimeters per second. And because ice crystals have more irregular shapes, therefore fall velocities are relatively smaller. So you see, by this expansion of tiny molecules of water in the air can carry 1 million tons of water, and the wind can push it at relatively fast speeds through the air without hurting anyone. You see. Purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 23rd chapter, 3rd verse. The question of how the planets and stars are floating is also answered in this verse. It is not because of the laws of gravity. Rather, the planets and stars are enabled to float by manipulations of the air. It is due to such manipulations that big, heavy clouds float and big eagles fly in the sky. Modern airplanes, like the 747 jet aircraft, work in a similar way. By controlling the air, they float high in the sky, resisting the tendency to fall to earth. So, if you look at the airplane wing, it has this particular shape, and it can be somewhat modified by the pilot, depending on whether he wants to go up or come down. So, there's slower moving air with more air pressure at the bottom And there's faster moving air with less air pressure at the top. That pushes the airplane up, even though it's very, very heavy. This is called fluid dynamics. The shape of aerofoil, meaning the shape of the wing, determines the motion of planes. Similarly, planetary shapes allow their motion. So here are some different wing styles. Some are for very heavy, slow-moving airplanes, and some are for airplanes that move at supersonic speeds. It depends on the wing shape and the thrust. The thrust is either by propellers or by a jet engine. And this is what makes an airplane go up. It's mysterious, but actually they learned how to do it by watching birds, because birds do the same thing, and so do fish. Fish also can fly up into the air by manipulating their gills. So this is a very mysterious thing, but it's become demystified to a certain degree. But the planets float on the same principle. But instead of wind, they have electromagnetic waves. Next one. Srila Prabhupada's lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam 1-2-13, Los Angeles, August 16, 1972. But when you are fully ekatvam anupasyataha, that is stated in Ishopanishad, that means everything is related to Krishna. That is ekatvam. Krishna is the supreme, and everything is an emanation from Krishna. Krishna's energy is variety. In other words, he has many, many different types of energies. Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Shruyate. The example, just like the sun, from sun two energies are emanating, heat and light. And the whole material creation is based on heat and light. As soon as there is no light, or as soon as there is no heat, immediately the trees become skeletons. Or a few days after, it will be vanished. In other words, everything dies. Now, we're going to talk just a minute about fracking and critical fluid oil extraction technology. These things are changing the composition of the earth, and because of that, it could change the orbit of the earth, the tilt of its axis, and eventually it could fall out of the space. But we're not going to go into that. It's too complicated. I just wanted to touch on that. Next one. Next slide. Now let us look at how the sun impacts life on earth in every way. The presence of Krishna's multifarious energies are seen in the energy of the earth. In the earth, you have a thing called the carbon cycle. This is an amazing thing. And it cannot be, let's say, impacted by human beings. You have to understand something. Human beings can only destroy what they have produced. They cannot destroy what Krishna has produced. They cannot alter it fundamentally. They might temporarily alter it a little bit, but Krishna is the maintainer, as Shirodakshay Vishnu. So if there's any disturbance in the universal order, he will come, just like he came as Varaha, and put the earth back into orbit. So the demons can temporarily disturb things, but they cannot alter things permanently. But they can destroy what they produce, like buildings, airplanes, submarines, and stock market, and so forth. So now we're going to talk about the carbon cycle, which is an absolutely amazing thing. All life depends on the carbon cycle, and the carbon cycle depends on the energy of the sun. The Lord is like the sun, which illuminates everything and cannot be illumined by anyone else. We begin by the invocation mantra of the Ishopanishad. Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Visishyate. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced by the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains a complete balance. In other words, This is called spiritual mathematics. 1 plus 1 equals 1, and 1 minus 1 equals 1 in the spiritual world. In other words, Krishna is perfect and complete. But from Krishna are emanating infinite universes, infinite Brahmas, infinite Vishnus, infinite incarnations, infinite demigods, and infinite living entities like us. But yet he's never diminished in any way. And infinite electromagnetic waves of the sun, and infinite Brahma Jyoti, he's never diminished. This defeats the argument of the infinite regress, of the famous argument of the atheists to defeat the spiritualists. They cannot imagine that such a being exists as Krishna, who is never diminished, who can infinitely emanate perfect units. Perfect units is going to be demonstrated now by the carbon cycle. Here you see a schematic, a drawing. Sunlight is coming into the earth, and plants capture the energy of the sun, and they use the energy of the sun to, one, absorb carbon dioxide, which is the gas that we exhale, all animals exhale, and factories and cars also produce it, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Plants capture carbon dioxide, and also from their roots they get water. So you have CO2 and H2O. And they absorbed energy of the sun. I won't go into how they do it because it would take too long to explain it. But just understand that the plant is getting the light and heat of the sun, drawing water up from its roots, and absorbing carbon dioxide from the air. And the plant produces glucose. And we'll show that formula in a second. Glucose is the fundamental energy that makes you and me work. If you go to a hospital, into the emergency room, into the ICU, which is a intensive care unit, right? They put different tubes in your body, right? One of those tubes is glucose that goes directly into your blood. That's what keeps you alive. That's your gasoline, or our gasoline. So that glucose is produced in a plant, and then the plant releases oxygen into the air. In other words, it takes the carbon dioxide that we exhale and takes the water and the energy of the sun. It produces glucose, which is absolutely necessary for us to live, and it produces oxygen to replenish the air. Then those plants, and as well as human beings, as well as animals, go into the earth. Dust thou art, and dust thou shalt become, as it says in the Bible. Our body disintegrates into the earth, and then it creates organic matter. When that organic matter is compressed at high temperatures for a very long period of time, it goes through different states, but it ultimately ends up as either oil or coal. What are we using to run our cars? What are we using to make electricity? Oil and coal. And the original source of that energy is the glucose produced from the sun and water. Now, I'm not going to go through all the complicated chemistry, how you come from how glucose eventually becomes coal, but understand that that's what's happening. It's a miraculous thing. Now, the environmentalists are very worried because they say, oh, all our factories are spewing out toxins, especially carbon dioxide. And people, when they pass bad air, and cows, when they pass bad air, they're putting more gases like methane and things like that into the atmosphere. And it's changing, it's causing global warming, etc., etc. Actually, there's very little proof of that. But what is happening is, that the ocean absorbs a huge, unbelievably huge amount of carbon dioxide and other gases that break down into carbon dioxide. And it produces different things. First of all, the seaweeds in the ocean do the same thing as the plants on the earth. They undergo the process of photosynthesis, and they create glucose and oxygen, and that the oxygen goes back into the air. So they're converting carbon dioxide into oxygen and energy, potential energy. Then you have plankton. Plankton are sort of like in between plants and animals, but they're single cell living entities, but they also undergo photosynthesis. So they also are a huge amount. That's why there's oil and gas in the ocean. When I say in the ocean, in the bed of the ocean, there's huge amounts of oil, even more than on the earth, and oil and gas. And that's why you have these big oil rigs in the oceans, right? Because the ocean is absorbing the carbon dioxide. It produces calcium carbonate and dolomite and other things, and those things become deposited on the bottom of the ocean. Eventually they're pushed toward land, and whenever you use toothpaste, you're brushing your teeth with calcium carbonate, which is a combination of calcium from the shells of crustaceous fish combined with other things in the ocean, and it becomes a very hard mineral. And then you also have dolomite. At the same time, the ocean produces oil and gas and other sediment. So you have marine deposits of limestone and dolomite from animals and fish and crustaceans. You have oil and gas, and you also have coal and oil and gas on the land. So when we burn the coal and oil, it goes back into the atmosphere, and there's this cycle going on. It's called the carbon cycle, and it's continually going on. So this is the absolute ingenuity of Krishna. It's a perfectly functioning, self-sustaining cycle. And because of that, everybody is living in this world based on that cycle, the carbon cycle. Here's the next one. Go to the next one. Here's another diagram or a drawing showing the carbon cycle. It always begins with the sunlight and photosynthesis, and then decaying organisms and decaying animals and human beings and waste and their waste products, and then it produces fossil fuels, and then it goes into the factories and cars and produces emissions, and then those emissions again are recycled. Okay. This is going on in a miraculous way. Here's another, go to the next one. This is another much more complicated drawing showing that three things are happening in the ocean. One is carbon dioxide is taken up by the ocean and producing organic carbon and oxygen. Two, there is carbon dioxide through photosynthesis is being transformed into organic carbon and oxygen through the seaweeds. And then three, the plankton are doing the same thing, but producing calcium carbonate and dolomite. So you have three different channels by which there's a recycling of the carbon dioxide and producing many other valuable things such as oil, gas, and calcium carbonate and so forth. Now, the next one, and we're going to be finished in a minute. This next chart shows us the chemical process of photosynthesis. The plant takes up 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules, transforms that into C6H12O2, glucose, and 6 oxygen atoms and molecules, and then the oxygen replenishes the air, and the glucose gives the energy that keeps us alive. When we eat plants, or if an animal eats a plant, the animal recycles that glucose, and it's the source of all nutrition and energy in nature. In the same way, the glucose is transformed into chemical energy in human beings and animals. So you go from light electromagnetic energy to chemical energy. So the glucose is the chemical energy produced from the sunlight and the molecules. And then, by being ingested, that chemical energy becomes organic. So it's a miraculous process, it's a cyclic process, and it's keeping us alive. Okay, so the metabolism is the process by which the chemical energy becomes metabolized, or becomes organically available to us. And this happens in the body. It's a term that is used to describe all chemical reactions involved in maintaining the living state of the cells and the organism. Metabolism can be conveniently divided into two categories: catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism is the breakdown of molecules to obtain energy. So the basic glucose is combined into a more stable state, and it's a more complicated molecule. I won't go into it, but that when that is broken down, the glucose is released, and it feeds all the cells, and that is called catabolism. And anabolism is the synthesis of all compounds needed by the cells. So it's the process of turning non-organic chemicals or molecules into organic chemicals, organically available. So basically, the glucose breaks down, glucose and oxygen breaks down into carbon dioxide and oxygen with the release of energy when it is digested. That's why when you eat food, you get a rush of energy, especially if it's not junk food. And that rush of energy, and it also, you get oxygenated also. So that is the miraculous carbon cycle, or part of it. Okay, so this carbon cycle comes from the energy of the sun. And let's skip a couple of the slides. And we come to the slide where it says we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Keep going. Okay, anyway, we'll stop at this point. But this is part of a textbook that we're writing to educate our children in a holistic, comprehensive way, where they see how everything begins from Krishna, everything is maintained by Krishna, and everything goes back to Krishna. And in the process, they see the extremely, extremely brilliant systems that Krishna has established. Now, the scientists don't even understand these things completely. They've discovered parts of it. And all they're doing is discovering what's already there and functioning perfectly. And what they actually do is they interfere with it because of greed. They don't know how to live harmoniously with what Krishna has given us. And that is what we're demonstrating on our farm. How to live harmoniously with this carbon cycle and other things, where you don't have to exploit the earth unnecessarily. When you don't exploit the earth unnecessarily, the earth unfurls her opulence and riches naturally. You don't have to bore into it. She will naturally unfurl gold, silver, and other precious things. That's another topic that we will talk about. But this is one chapter in our textbook for children that we will have finished, hopefully by September. Now, we're going to have an education seminar here with all the educators in North America in Hare Krishna temples on the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, 18th of June. And they're all coming here to share their wisdom and knowledge about how to educate our children to not only become materially, let's say, astute, but spiritually solid, like a rock, unshakable in an atheistic society, so that they can achieve great things like Subhash Chandra Bose, like Tesla, like Victor Schauberger, and other great scientists that you don't hear about because they're, well, you're hearing about Tesla now, but you don't hear about them so much because their scientific work was never patented, and it was used only to give independence to the individual. Victor Schauberger, who you've never heard about, but I'm going to speak at length about him in the future, he invented a machine for an individual home where you become energy independent for very little money. He was put in jail by the Nazis and later on kept in jail by the United States after the war. And they forced him to come to America once they let him out in jail in 1956. And when he saw how they wanted to exploit his knowledge, he refused to cooperate and went back to Germany. This man is one of the most brilliant scientists, and you've never even heard of him. He's on the level, I would say he's beyond Einstein. He's on the level of someone like Newton and Einstein. But what he did was he studied water, and he discovered very many mysterious secrets. And he was able to bring this down to a level to help the individual become independent. So we will talk about that at another time. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I went a little late, but I think it's a very interesting subject. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayur Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Jayur Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna Jayo Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Krishna Shri Govinda Govinda Jagana Shri Govinda Govinda Jagana Shri Govinda Govinda Jagana Shri Govinda Govinda Jagamana loba janamita tabane Jagamana loba Kibaboshi ina chingora chalana singasane Arati kore na Brahma Adi Deva Gane Jayo Jaya Gora Chande Arati Ke Soba Janamita tabane Jagamana loba jan Kibaladam Hari Adhikari Chamara Dulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Rosa Adigaya Jayo Jaya Gora Chande Aruti Ke Soba Janavita Tabale Jagamana Loba Shanka Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Bhaje Sharadala Madhurami Ganga Bhaje Paramara Sala Madhurami Ganga Bhaje Paramara Sala Shanka Bhaje Ganga Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shanka Bhaje Ganga Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Gaur Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Bolo Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Kaya Baho Gurti Chandra Jini Bhagana Ujjvala Jini Bhagana Ujjvala Chala Jaise Vana Mala Hare Chala Mala Gala Jayo Gora Chande Arati Ke Yoga Bola Jana Vita Chavane Jagamana Lobada Hiba Shiva Sugana Raja Om Himigada Gada Bhakti Vino Najeke Bodhana Sampada Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hey bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hey bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gora Hari Bol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Namaste Narasimhaya Hiranya Dashi Purvachaha Shiladam Janatalaye Ito Nishinga Bharato Nishinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga Bayi Nishinga Hidaye Nishinga Darashina Mahadev Saranam Prapade Darashina Mahadev Saranam Prapade Sabakara Kamalapade Naga Aduta Singam Jalita Hiranya Kashipu Danu Vingam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Navakara Kamala Pare Raja Ajuta Singha Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Danu Bina Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Nara Singade Jaya Nara Singade Jaya Nara Singade Jaya Nara Singade Haribol, Haribol, Gora Haribol, Nitai Gora Haribol, Nitai Gora. Nitai Gora Premanande Ki Jai, Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajikachasta Talasatarashi Shishimad. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samkunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you very much for coming tonight. This is the best time of the year. There's a lot of light, a lot of photosynthesis going on. And it's a happy time. Everything is growing. So on May 9th, what's today? May 8th, is it? 7th. Yeah. So this next Tuesday is Nrsingadev Bhagavan's appearance day. So all the demons have to watch out. So we're going to have I'm going to tell you a secret now. We have brought in this time a new outfit for the deities. I've never seen anything as gorgeous as this in my life. So you have to come and have darshan of Nrsingadev Bhagavan and the deities. This is the most gorgeous outfit we've ever had. And it's going to be something you've never seen before. So, at least here. So, please come Tuesday and have darshan of Nrsingadev, get his mercy. We also have Nrsinga, we're going to chant the Nrsingadev prayers for the protection of everyone. And also have installed the Nrsinga Kavacha on everyone for your protection from North Korean bombs and economic disasters, Trumpian disasters. So yes, if you want to have the sacred mantra Kavacha of Lord Nrsingadev, please come Tuesday. And next Saturday also, on the occasion of Nrsingadev's appearance, we're going to have a Nagar Sankirtan, a very large Sankirtan in the streets of Seattle, in downtown Seattle. So you're all invited to come. It should be, it begins at 1 o'clock Saturday, meeting here, and then we all go downtown. Or you can meet us downtown at Westlake Park. And it's going to be a very ecstatic day with a lot of book distribution and prasadam distribution and chanting and dancing. Also, this week we had our book distribution results, and we our special team led by Krishna Prastaya Devi Dasi went out on door-to-door book distribution, and they did 43 plus books yesterday. So we want to thank them very much. They're very brave soldiers going door to door. Yes, over $240, which is very good for us. We want to thank the sponsors tonight, Abhishek Kumar, on the occasion of Arhan's birthday. Abhishek Kumar on the occasion of his son's birthday. And Shantan Gorla and his family on the occasion of his children's birthday. So Shantan Gorla, and we want to wish them happy birthday. I'm not sure if we have a cake or not. We should check to see. If they are here, please come forward. Also, we are
going to have, as I said, Hare Krishna. So, this is Arhan? Huh? Arhan, yes. Hare Krishna Arhan. How old are you, Arhan? 8 years old? Wow. You're getting to be a big boy. And we have a gift for you, Arhan. Is there a cake for Arhan? They didn't make it? Okay, that's all right. So come, Arhan, come over here. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Jai Arhan. Lord Premanandi ki jai. And is Shantan Gorla here? Shantan Gorla? Okay. Well, for Arhan, we have a gift for you, so don't leave till you get your gift. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna, dear Arhan, Hare Krishna to you. Very good. Many more happy birthdays, Arhan. So we are going to have an educational, a national ISKCON educational seminar and conference here on the weekend of the 16th, 17th, and 18th of June, where leaders of our educational institutions around the country are going to come and talk about spiritual education for our children. So if you would like to attend the meetings, you're welcome. Also, at the end of this month, we have a very large booth at the Northwest Folklife Festival. We will have our cows, we will set up our Vedic village, and we've been invited for free to have a huge booth. Yeah, even a 10 by 10 booth at the Folklife Festival costs $2,500. That's 10 by 10. We have 50 by 50 booth. So they really like us, and they like our cows. I think they like their cows more than us. So we're gonna be there. If you'd like to come and see us at the Northwest Folklife Festival, Monday, Memorial Day. We're only going to be there one day, on Monday. Please come and see us. Then our next major festival is the Ananda Mela Festival at the end of July. And this year, something very special is going to happen for our Flavors of India Rath Yatra Festival in Bellevue. Very likely, like we're 90% sure now, but we have to get the final agreement by the city of Bellevue. We're going to have a major parade with a gigantic Rath Yatra cart. Yeah. We're going to basically do a circumambulation of the entire Crossroads Mall, starting on 15th Street, going down 156th, up 8th Avenue.